Hi everyone. Well, the flowers have now finished in our vineyard and the fruit has definitely started to set. So it's a really good time now to get the strimmers out and everything like that and get the leaf wall in a really good condition and also strip away those lower leaves shielding the fruit set and start fungiciding the fruit so that they don't become victims of mildew and black rot or bunch rot, whatever you want to call it. In fact, molds at this time of the season are really important to keep on top of because they can very quickly develop into a sort of yield busting or yield destroying disease. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to get out my trusty strimmer here and just trim back the vines. I've done a couple of rows already, which you can see behind me, so they're looking quite neat, but there's other ones in the vineyard here that are not looking so neat. So I'm going to crack on with that now, and then after I've done that, I'm just going to get the little hand tool, the little still hand tool that I've mentioned in the past, and just expose those fruit sets below where the fruiting line is, and then I'm going to get out the air sprayer and give it a really good blast of fungicidal spray. Now the first spray I'm going to be using is the lime sulfur spray, and a reason why I'm going to be using that is that it's quite weatherproof. If it rains, which we've got rain in the forecast, it should stick to the leaves and the fruit over the next few weeks or so and act as a really good fungicide, even though the weather doesn't look to be that kind to us. So that's what I'm going to get on with now, and hopefully we've got enough hours in the day to finish the job. So I'm just going to put the camera down and crack on with that now. Okay, that wasn't too bad. It was up and down the aisle in a couple of minutes and both sides there are nicely trimmed. Now, one thing I would say that if you're going to use a tool like this, a handheld one anyway, is don't go for a petrol one. I know the temptation is to do everything petrol. I certainly like petrol driven machines because they're just that little bit more powerful, but for this job go for electric because you're doing most of the work above your sort of shoulder height and head height, and if after about half an hour of using a petrol machine you find that it's hard work, you know, half an hour of wielding something that's probably a good 6 kilos, I'm guessing there, I'm saying 6 kilos, 12 pounds, something like that, above your shoulders is going to sort of take its toll. Electric is far more convenient, and because you're only trimming grapevines, you're not going through something really tough. Electric is plenty powerful enough to go through practically everything on a vineyard. So yeah, that's just a little tip I would use. I've used petrol before and it's absolutely fine, but it is hard work after about half an hour. You do feel it. Or maybe that's just me, I'm not sure, but electric has been a godsend in this particular job anyway. Okay, I've got a few more rows to do and I'll carry on with the electric strimmer, and after I finish that we'll do the next job, which is the leaf thinning before we spray with the fungicide. Okay, that's that job finished. So that took me about 25 minutes to do 11 rows of 27 vines each. So that's roughly 300 vines, all nicely trimmed into a sort of hedge. And that's the sort of thought that you have to have. I think, well, that's certainly the thought I have, is that I'm just trying to get a hedge of vines all down the rows. And it makes it a lot easier for the next step, and that is to expose these fruit sets to any sprays and also the sunshine and the air, which is necessary to keep the mildews and the mold pressure down to an absolute minimum. You're not going to ever get rid of mildew and molds because they're in the air. They're just going to attach themselves to anything that they land on. But sunshine definitely helps to keep the molds at bay, and also just fresh air just wafting past. The worst thing you can do is to keep them shielded by all the leaves that surround them, because they never really sort of dry off in the morning sun and they just stay damp for much longer, which is why molds develop when they're shielded by the leaves. So a lot of these are exposed now, which is great news, but I think what I'll do is I'll use that still tool just to go down the aisles and just make sure that we've got as many clusters as possible exposed to the sunshine. So that's what I'm going to crack on with now. As I'm walking down these two aisles here, you can see that we haven't got that many now going into the aisle itself. The tops are fairly well trimmed, and yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for really. If you were a proper big commercial vineyard, you wouldn't be bothering with hand tools like this. You'd actually get a sort of tractor driven or tractor mounted, I think they're called, I could get this wrong. I think they're called rape knives, something like that, which sounds a bit sort of horrible, but in actual fact, it's what they used to scythe rapeseed plants with. I'll put a little picture, exactly what I'm talking about. And you just go up and down the aisles and it strims both the sides and the tops all in one go. And because it's tractor driven, it's a very, very quick method of pruning the vines into a proper leaf wall. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they're called rape knives. Obviously there's a different connotation to that which isn't so pleasant, but I think in this context they're talking about the plant and how that has been scythed in the past. So this is sort of a similar sort of setup where you've got sort of reciprocating knives to chop things, and it's basically a bigger scale version to that really, but they are very, very effective if you've got lots and lots to do. I haven't got that many to do, even though I've got 33 aisles or rows to do here, which sounds a lot, but to be honest, when you're just walking up and down with this sort of hand tool here, it's quite quick, so it's not too bad. I can cope with that. Any bigger, then I'll definitely be looking on the internet to try and find a suitable tool to do it for me. So that's really good that we've got the aisles all sort of tidied up now, but before we can do any spraying, you've seen me use this tool before, but it's essentially, this is a steel clipper, and all we're trying to do is just to expose these fruit sets which are well and truly on their way. You can see that the flowers have started to disappear, and we're getting some nice fruit sets developing, which is just what we want. But one or two of them are just now shielded by some large leaves that have grown since we last did this leaf thinning exercise about a month ago. So what we really don't want are things like this, for example, being shielded by these big leaves that are covering them. So all I do really, and I think I did it in one of the videos where I introduced this tool, is I just go along the row and I just literally just go along and just snip off the leaves that are shielding. That kind of thing. So we start to get sunshine on these fruit sets here that were perhaps shielded beforehand. And yeah, that's all we're doing. And the really nice thing is that when I come to do the air sprayer, this fruit now is exposed to that the spray and the fungicide that I'm going to put on it. So I've got a few more rows to do before I finish this job, but yeah, we should be getting to the stage where we can get the air sprayer out again. The other thing which I would say is that when you're going around the vines, just giving them a good tidy up, it's always a good idea to see how much growth you've got below the crown. In this case, the crown's up here somewhere, from which those two nice fruiting canes are coming from. We've got one here and one here. Everything else down below here is a little bit, makes it a bit of a mess, to be honest. So the best thing you can do is literally just snip the things off and just give it a good old tidy up. There's absolutely no point having these on here. They're never going to produce anything, and they just shield the bottom area here with leaves, which you really don't need or want. So we can get rid of a lot of excess growth here. There we go. That's just opened up this area really nicely, and same on the other side. So yeah, I've got a few with sort of shoots below the crown, so I'm just going to just tidy things up a bit, really. Unfortunately, that's just the nature of vines. We're not terribly mechanised here. If you look at commercial growers, they have got everything mechanised and you know, really highly mechanised, that one or two people can do thousands upon thousands of vines. We're not in that scale at all, so we've got to try and you know, make do with what we've got. And I'm sure you're probably in the same position. You can spend tens or if not hundreds of thousands of pounds on equipment, and that's just not realistic for us. So yeah, back with the snippers. That's all that leaf thinning done, so the next step is to put the air sprayer that I've got behind me onto the back of the mini tractor and get into the vineyard and spray it. So I'm just going to hook it up now, and I'm also just going to show you exactly how much lime sulfur, in this case, I'm going to be using at this time of year. It does vary depending on what time of year you're doing it, but whilst everything is in full growth, I'm going to use a slightly different concentration of lime sulfur, and yeah, we'll get that on and into the vineyard. So let me just hook up this and I'll join you in the next step. Now, you can find a lot more videos and a lot more information over on our Patreon site, which if you've not seen that before, then click on the link in the description below this video and you can join me over there. And just for a few dollars per episode or per month, then you get access to a whole load more, and you can chat and discuss and ask me questions if you like, and I'll be happy to answer them. So maybe I'll see you over there. So back to this video. Right, so the air sprayer is on the back of the tractor now, and now it's just time to add the lime sulfur. Now, the lime sulfur that I've made is one which I did in a previous video, and I'll put it in the link above my head if you've not seen it already. But lime sulfur is a really good general all-round fungicide and works quite well in a vineyard. The other really big advantage is that it's weatherproof, and a little bit like the old Bordeaux mixes of years gone by. I say years gone by because they've banned it in Europe now, but Bordeaux mix, which was a copper sulfate and calcium oxide mix. Lime sulfur is a sulfur and calcium oxide mix reacted together. And both of them are weatherproof, which means basically if it rains, which is in the forecast for us here, it sticks to the leaves and the fruit sets and things and continues its fungicidal properties even after a shower or a rainstorm. So that's fantastic. Now, the ratio that I'm going to be adding it is 40:1. 40:1 means that it's dilute enough so that it's not going to burn the leaves or do any damage to the fruit or anything like that, but it is concentrated enough to still act as an effective fungicide. If it was winter time, I'd probably be dropping that concentration down to say 10:1 or 20:1. It can cope with a much stronger concentration because there's just no foliage or fruit for it to act on. So I'm just going to add my litre. So that's a litre added. I'm going to add a little bit more and top the air sprayer up to about 50 litres. That will give me my 40:1 ratio. And then I'll join you in the vineyard.
Okay, we're all set.
Well, that was a lot of fun. Right, that's this section of vineyard all sprayed up. It took more or less exactly 50 litres, and I was going fairly slowly because I wanted to ensure that I had good coverage on all the leaves and the grapes there. And yeah, you can really smell it, so you know we've got a good sulphur mix in the back of the tank there. Now, what I was going to say is that you can add, and it probably would be, I should have done this to be honest, you can add a surfactant so that the spray spreads better over the grapes and the leaves. It just gives a slightly better wetting surface area to the leaves. So rather than making little droplets of a fungicidal spray, it spreads over the leaf and grape much better. I should have done that. You can buy surfactants, or if you want, you can use a little bit of washing up liquid. I think a lot of people do that, to be honest, and it has a similar sort of effect. Anyway, I'm not too worried. I'm going to be doing this again in the not too distant future, just so that I can start the grapes off early on in this growing part of the season really well. It's now coming to the end of July. In fact, it's the 1st of August tomorrow. And so you think, well, you know, we're midsummer, but really the grapes have only really just started. So we've got August, September, about 2.5 months or so to go before we're thinking about harvesting these grapes. So they've got quite a long way to go still. Anyway, that's sort of concluded this little session of getting the grapes ready for spraying, which we've just done now. So I'm going to call it a day on this video, but I hope you've enjoyed it. And yeah, if you want to subscribe or click the like button, that really helps the channel out. And put comments in the section below as well. If you want to ask any questions or you know, anything that you're doing on your vineyard, that'd be fantastic. I'll catch you in the next video then. So until then, bye for now.